I'm not going to say a single word about the Tennessee Titans record against the Indianapolis Colts because I was a punter, and there's no reason for me to talk about that. With that being said, we did not punt much against the Tennessee Titans, so you probably have no clue who I am to begin.
Look, I'm unstoppable. Forget your defense, nothing but an obstacle. Run it back, switch it up, call it audible. Serving up them Hail Marys till the game over with the showstopper. So hot, you gotta blow on it. I said I'll huff and I'll puff, then I'll pass to my left while I'm looking to my right. Hit him right in the chest. It be looking like magic, better give me the throne. I ain't talking about Patrick, but I rep my home. I'm never at the end of my zone. I'm bad to the bone, eating up these pig skins like they chicharrones, and you a douche cabron. Mira, mira at the mirror on the wall. I'm the greatest of them all. They gon' put me in the hall. Your name is only written in a bathroom stall. Quit your stalling and make a play. My drive too long. Pop the clutch, I don't pump the brakes. I know what it takes to gain the muscle, get rugged. These butterfingers be fumbling, squash a scrimmage and rub it in Robitussin. How I give them concussion, they seeing double, they rushing and pass the shovel, the dirt and rubble. I bury them under it. Stay in your huddle and get 10 yards back. Never turn your back. I'ma pull your flag. I go full contact, out punch, out kick like a shotgun.
It'd be better if you could hear me. Fantastic. All right. Well, welcome back. Welcome back to the HorseShoe Mob podcast. A little bit more energetic. A little bit more energetic. Big W's in Baltimore do that to you. But you know what? We're going to get to that. All right. We're going to get to that. So if you are watching right now, make sure that you are liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, carrier pigeoning. I don't know. Whatever you do, where you do it from, that's completely up to you. But yeah, we got a good one in store for you today. Just go ahead and let y'all tap in. And like I said, make sure that you're liking it on whatever platform, whether it be Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, whatever. Just make sure that you are letting us know where you're coming from. Like I said, we like to make sure that we answer all comments, so we're going to do that. But yeah, man, fellas, how are we doing today?
We're in first place. That's how we're doing.
Ooh, I like that. We're leading off a big energy. I appreciate that. How are we feeling, Austin? How are we feeling today?
Feeling good. Feeling great,
No, man, we're gonna pick it up. I need you to give it a good like just real quick.
A good what?
A good come on, you can do it. Go
No, that's okay. We're feeling good.
Come on.
Oh no, come on, Austin. Killing us.
Josh, how we feeling today? Oh, we're feeling silent? Oh, this is
man. Hey, I'm feeling great, man. I feel like that offensive lineman that left Tennessee and told them up yours. That's how I feel like leaving Baltimore with a dub.
That's fantastic, man. Hey, shout out to the Baltimore fans. We're not gonna troll y'all, even though we've only been hearing excuses since Sunday, and it's only been like a little bit more than 48 hours. But you know what? I'll also do that to you. So you know what? It is what it is. But in the meantime, welcome back to the HorseShoe Mob podcast, where we're covering everything Colts and sprinkling in some Titan slander here and there. I mean, technically, yeah, I'm the host. Yeah, okay, we'll just go with that. Your host, Chris Jackson, and we have with us, as always, we have the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. I think Harish is going to be the one known as the Michael Pittman slander. But you know what? Either way, Harish Nukala, everybody.
Hello.
We have with us the silent assassin, as you can see, because he refuses to give us a good y'all. We have Austin Cook, everybody.
Hey, what's up? I'm Austin.
Every time, man. Every time.
And then we have with us the bane of my existence, because he just continues to just say and do things that just continue to, just strike a chord. But you know what? Nonetheless, man, it's our favorite. I'm gonna say Spanish gentleman, Josue Senor.
Hey, I just want to let you know, but I was sent by God and Sam to irritate you.
Just for that, I'm gonna make Sam. Just for that, I'm gonna make Sam pay. Like she had nothing to do with it, but she had everything to do with it in that case. But yeah, man. Hey, listen. Once again, man, how are we feeling today? How are we feeling today?
Like
I mean, I feel like victorious, man. I feel this what winning feels like.
Got you. Yeah, it was. Listen. Let me go ahead and say it. It was a hell of a win. It was a hell of a win, and we're gonna get into all that. But we got comments coming in. So far we got Sarah on YouTube. I love that we went to Baltimore and won for the first time since 2009. Love our Colts. Yes, absolutely. That is a stat. This is the first time that we've won there in 14 years. I think the when we had that collapse in Baltimore in prime time, that was in Baltimore. So yeah. Then she said unbelievable catch by Pittman Jr. From Sarah again. Then we have Lakita commenting from Facebook with the looking eyes. Thank you, Lakita, what you're looking at. So yeah, man. Let's just go on ahead and just get right into it because well, actually we can't get right into it without mentioning www.fanbattlesports.com. You can go on there to read articles written for everybody in the AFC South, but we're only focused on the Colts. So read all the Colts articles written by Josh, myself, but mostly Josh, though. Every now and then I write one just to break up the monotony. It's like for every 19 that Josh writes, I write one. So, yeah, that's pretty much how it is. I know Austin, he has one coming up soon. He never does, but at
I'm trying to learn.
See, like that right there, that's some bull junk. Okay, as Coach Prime would say, that's some bull junk. But yeah, so like I said,
well, I got a proposal. I got a proposal, Austin. If I host one day, you got to do an article.
So basically, never.
You know what, guys? This is all for kicks and giggles. But you guys are obviously not fully down for the cause the way that you would like for me to believe you are. I actually had hope in that one, and then it just went straight to hell. So to hell with all you guys, okay? Every single last one of you. Mostly Austin though, because Austin refuses.
I'll say I didn't do anything. I'm just the bystander.
This is a family podcast. And you're gonna make
I'm just on the sideline, right? I'm on the sideline like Derrick Henry in half of his games this year, or all of them. Just hanging out. I'm not carrying the ball as much, and
well, you should be on the sideline like the Broncos.
No, they were in the game. That was the problem. Unlike Derrick Henry, they were actually playing. What are we talking about? Yeah. But no, but like I said, you can go to www.fanbattlesports.com. You can read articles, see past podcasts. So yeah, make sure that you're visiting there, subscribing, because a lot of great stuff coming up. But without further ado, man, let's get right into it. All right, went to Baltimore. They had probably terrible weather conditions, probably the worst weather conditions you could have this time of year, wind, rain, all that nastiness. And we were definitely favored to lose this one. Like, I mean, it's just, I think, who was it? I think they had that 6 analysts on the same show that all picked Baltimore to win. And I think they had them winning, just convincingly. And here we are. So you know what? We talked about we talked about the pregame, we talked about the postgame. Let's talk about what happened in the game. And you know what? To kick us off, I'm putting you on the spot, Austin. Go ahead and let us know exactly how this kicked off and how this all started off.
Yeah. So our first drive, we let them score pretty easy, and that was a little concerning to start off the game. But after that, our defense really stepped up and did great the rest of the game. Gardner Minshew stepped in, did what he needed to do, just enough. Zach Moss had a great game. Michael Pittman had a great game. Yeah. It was a defensive battle. Both defenses played well. It was a rainy day, like you said. And I just think our run defense is what got us that win.
Yeah, and you know what? It was the very first drive. You're just like, this is going to be a long game,
Yeah.
And so, and I'm gonna say jumping to you, Harish, because Josh is on timeout for comments made pre-production. So we're gonna so like we saw that they weren't able to really just like get anything kind of kicked off. What do you think was actually the point, I'm going to say early on, where it's just like the team just started to kind of catch the tempo and keep going, or not keep going, but just like, I'm going to say, build momentum?
Early in the game, I mean, kind of happened throughout the game. Baltimore kept throwing that little corner blitz, and it kind of caught. I don't know if it caught the offensive line off guard, but it's almost like as soon as you felt like something got going, that little blitz out there kind of
cover zero
drives. Yeah, a little cover zero blitz. But a little cover zero corner blitz, and it just kind of caught things off guard. I think relying on Zach Moss really helped him out, kind of opened things up a little bit and calmed things down. And then also, again, we talked about this a couple weeks ago because I wasn't here last week, but Shane Steichen really knows how to put his players in the right position to succeed. So you think about the throws that Gardner Minshew was making early. It was a lot of checkdowns, used a lot of the tight ends, ran it with Zach Moss, kind of tried to get something established. And I think it was a dang good coaching job by Shane Steichen again.
Yeah, absolutely. And we had a chance to kind of see exactly how things were going, because I think as Good Guy talked about with Kyle Hamilton, they were just blitzing on third down. So we saw that there were times where when we weren't able to score, the defense had to go back out there. Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the guy, but I think Josh knows who it is. So it's like, Josh, what role did the defense really play in this particular win?
Man, like I said yesterday, is that they shut everybody down except Lamar. He got his. He got 14 carries for over 100 yards, but they kind of adjusted to his run and kind of kept him in a pocket. That's why they kind of rest up the middle, and he couldn't really get out. It's like we have 4 sacks. Tavon Bryant, the former Jag, got a sack. Samson, who's a great addition in the offseason, got a sack. Kwity Paye got, I think, 2 sacks. No, he got a sack, and then Zaire Frank got a sack. They was keeping him in their pocket. He wasn't doing the same thing he did in that first quarter, like Austin said. They went out field pretty easy their first drive. At that point, it was kind of like, they did drive on the field, but it was like mistakes like we going for it on 4th down that we didn't convert, giving them a short field, and they're going to score again. You just got to give credit to our defense, man. Our defense has been playing outstanding. We really didn't give Gus credit last year, but this year you see him make a lot of adjustments. Last year he didn't blitz a lot. This year he's blitzing a hell of a lot, mainly on 3rd and 4th down, and it's causing these quarterbacks problems.
Yeah, I think I saw a stat where all of last year, Gus Bradley blitzed about 18% of the time.
Yeah,
he blitzed 38% of the time on Sunday.
Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah.
He basically doubled the amount of times, and obviously we'll probably talk about this throughout the episode. But man, Matt Gay, Jesus Christ, what an absolute saint that guy is.
Yeah, and I mean let's talk about that too, because Matt Gay, first person in NFL history for 50+ yard field goals made in a game.
Yes,
and mind you, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the fact, and mind you, I was one of them when he signed that 4-year, I think it was a $22 million contract. They were just like, why are you paying a kicker that much?
Yep.
And I think that man earned every $5.5 million per year that he's earning in that game, because I mean, to be able to kick like that, and mind you, it's not like they were close or they kind of drifted straight down the middle,
straight down
with full power. Mind you, this is somebody, he went into Baltimore and was able to, I'm going to say, be more efficient than Justin Tucker, who's arguably one of, if not what's considered probably like the greatest kicker, I'm going to say, in NFL history, and outdueled him.
Well, let's not ignore that. because all four of us was nervous when that 61-yard field goal attempt.
Bro, at first I thought he made it.
I was like, oh my fucking God.
No, absolutely.
Absolutely.
And I mean, but you know what?
Not surprised. Yeah.
That was uncharacteristic of Justin Tucker because I mean, Justin Tucker, this, and I think somebody mentioned it. I forgot who said it. I think it might have been good guy, it might have been somebody else, but they actually mentioned the fact that they were just like, oh yeah, because he's hit it from like 67 before, and yet he kicked that one, he kicked the 61 and missed.
Yeah,
and I think, and even that changed the course of the game because they kept on trying to get him into position to be able to go ahead and do it. And I think the defense showed up in a way where they kept him kind of in that 60-yard range just to make sure that they basically trot them out there and say, hey, if you're going to kick it, you're going to have to make it from all the way down there.
I was mad at the defense because defense should have never allowed that big pass. They should never allowed that.
I think that entire last drive before they had that kick for 60, this whole soft defense stuff, this prevent defense, it's not just the Colts, it's everybody in situations like that. I just don't understand. If you get beat over the top, you get beat over the top, right? Like whatever, right? But I don't want to get beat because we're allowing teams to dink and dunk in the last possession of the game.
It was 3rd and 20.
3rd and 20. They're allowing them to dink and dunk. They're running the clock. So if they beat you over the top, at least you have an opportunity, right?
Yeah.
But it's just this. It's not a Colts thing. It's just it's an every team thing. You see this college, NFL. It's just annoying.
Well, you know what? It's also, I think it kind of plays into the defense too because, this was also pointed out that there were many times where on those low, shallow routes that they kept on that Lamar Jackson tried to keep on throwing to the wide receivers because once again, you're playing in rainy weather, you're playing in bad elements, so for a fact that you're going to have to play a little bit more underneath or play a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage in order to move the ball. And what Gus Bradley did was he made sure that he sent pressure from different spots. Because what he did was it's just like he had a linebacker kind of hovering over the middle to kind of dare Lamar Jackson because we know there were a few times that, he ran into Leonard and that's because he had kind of a hole in the middle. The blitzes were primarily coming off the edge. They were coming from the left side. They were coming from the right side. And they were making sure that they were attacking the side where Ronnie Stanley would normally be or where Tyler Lindenbaum would normally be. So he did a great job of making sure that he prepared this defense to be able to come at Lamar because Lamar had to go and make those plays, I'm going to say with his feet, because he wasn't able to make those plays through the air based on what it was. And that in and of itself, I think is probably, I'm going to say, I think that's more of that situational defense, more of that defense where of course you're not going to play deep. You're going to kind of just go ahead and say, hey, you know what? We're going to dare you to pass because if you can pass in this nonsense, then you deserve it.
They did lock up Mark Andrews. I can tell you that. They did an excellent job on defense. Last time you played, he had like 14 catches for like over 100.
Yes, he did.
So they did an excellent job with that. I mean, kept his number one target pretty much out the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And hey, so Michael Newsom, who normally likes to just troll as a whole, he put up this fun fact. Colts kicker moved the ball 244 yards on field goal attempts. The Titans offense moved the ball 94 yards the whole entire game.
Ouch. That's man.
So thank you for that.
What about the other stat that the Dolphins had more yards in one game than
the Dolphins had more yards in one game than the Titans had all season.
Nice. It's actually kind of funny.
Yeah, it is.
But yikes.
It's like that's bad. That's bad. Because I remember Titans fans were saying, yeah, we got D-Hop and we got his old offensive coordinator. I'm just like, I don't know if you watched those Texans game, but Tannehill and Deshaun Watson. Like, let's just get that out the way. But yeah, so moving on, man, because they're going through enough, man. Will Levis is the Hellman spokesperson. They can't move the ball. I mean, at this point, it's just like, man, listen.
Well, it was a post today that said fire ran.
Yeah, somebody said fire ran, and that's crazy because 3 months ago it was let Rand cook, And it's just like you first you said let Rand cook. After 3 months, you're saying fire him. What happened during his probationary period? Did it just not work out the way you wanted it to? Like that's like it, you know what? I can't because Titans fans are weird people. So you know what? We're not gonna do that. But you know what? Let's talk about this though. So this is something that we kind of wanted to point out, right? Because we know the defense is thriving. I think they added another 3 sacks to the total on the year.
That was 4.
4 sacks.
4 sacks.
4.
So it's 4 sacks. So that means they have 12 sacks on the season so far. So they're averaging 4 a game. That could equate to about 68 by the end of the year if they keep up at this pace, which means that I think that's probably the most for a team, I believe.
They second in the league in second or first, I think, in sacks.
Okay.
First or second in sacks.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the thing so the thing is I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that, like I said, you had 2 on Trevor, you had 6 on
CJ.
On CJ, and then you have 4 on Lamar, which honestly it's just like the Lamar is probably the most impressive because he's one of the most, if not the most elusive quarterback in the league. But we know what we were dealing with in terms of like Trevor with that O-line being bad, and then CJ playing behind the people that he was playing behind, and then Lamar not having Ronnie Stanley and Tyler Lindenbaum available, right? So when we talk about this team, right, and then on the opposite side of the ball, you don't have Marlon Humphrey, you don't have other people. I think Stingley ended up leaving towards the end of the game last week. Is this team good, or is this team just like, are they just good situational? Like, is this team like legit, or are we just basically just like, hey, we're just feasting on what we're given? And I'm gonna go the opposite way. I'm gonna start with Josh this time.
Like I said in the offseason, the team I picked the team win between 6 and 8 games, but I did say there's going to be games we win that we shouldn't win. So I would say situational. I wouldn't say they're legit right now. They just win the games that they shouldn't win. I mean, we was like they didn't pick us against Texans, they didn't pick us against the Jaguars, they didn't pick us against the Ravens. They probably won't pick us next week either. I mean, we're not favored in any game this year. So I mean, just win the games that we shouldn't win. We could have won the first game.
Yeah.
So I mean, I just give the team. I would say pump the brakes. Be happy with the wins that we do get, and the games that we lose, learn from them, and go to the next game.
Gotcha. Okay. What about you, Harish?
Oh, sorry, I'm kind of in the same boat, right? I had us winning 5 games, 6 games. So I'm surprised by this win. I'm happy and grateful for it, but. Regardless of how good or how bad the roster is, I'm really digging Shane Steichen. I love his style. I love the accountability. Like, I saw accountability from Shane Steichen this week because Deion Jackson was cut. To me, that's accountability. Right? Not this climb up the mountain. We'll cut your carries in half this week. Like, literally, dude, you caught. Honestly, if you think about it, Deion Jackson could have cost us that Jaguars game. We could be 3-0 right now. Because we were in that game the entire game. You run a couple balls, you get a couple of scores with Anthony Richardson, you probably win that football game. So I think this is – I don't know if this is a credit to – the defense is legit.
Yeah.
I think it's more of a credit because we won this with Gardner Minshew. Credit to Shane Steichen and the coaching job that he had.
Yeah, absolutely. And then what about you, Austin?
Yeah, so I agree with what both Josh and Harish said. Our defense is a good defense. And then our offense is also good, but we're still developing. We're still young. We're still going to see some growing pains as we play more games against different teams. But I do think we have a good roster. We have a potential to be a good team. And like Harish said, Shane Steichen has showed already he has potential to be a great head coach. So I'm happy we got him. I'm happy we got AR. I'm happy with what our defense has put out there. Even with our young secondary, it's not really killed us yet.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And you know what? Let's go ahead and take it up a notch. we tend to kind of overlook the guys that, also need to be in, right? Because, you have Zach Moss in, but who's Zach Moss, currently, I'm playing in the place of? He's playing in the place of Jonathan Taylor. You have Jonathan Taylor and Zach Moss out there. You have two different backs that you can have in a system that is very complementary of backs. Now, mind you, Zach Moss, he's a power guy, right? He's not somebody who's elusive, but he's definitely going to make the first guy miss if given the opportunity because he's going to be able to take those tackles. Now, we're also missing Jelani Woods, right? And Jelani Woods is another big target, another, somebody that will be able to just go ahead and just reach up, just get the jump balls out the air and then be able to do so. So as far as the and this is ridiculous. If the Colts start Minshew and beat the Rams to improve to 3-1, y'all coming on here with fake mustache and jorts next week talking about Super Bowls. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's nasty. That's nasty.
AR is going to play anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. But like when we're talking about this team, we've been without key people, been without key pieces. I mean, Gardner Minshew came in and started a whole entire game for us against the Baltimore Ravens, who, even with what they had, it's just a really, really tough time to play against a team that's that smash mouth and that physical. So, I think for everything that's being overlooked, like everybody that tried to use the injury excuse when we played against the Texans, trying to use the injury excuse and trying to use other excuses to kind of invalidate the win against Baltimore, I think you're seeing that this is the evolution of the offense. This is the evolution of what this team is going to look like. Because, I mean, you have a 3-game sampling of how this offense looks. And this offense already, in comparison to last year, plays much faster. They play at a much higher tempo. There's much more movement to make it much more creative. There's no more of this just handing the ball off in a single back and then just, having them run directly up the middle. No, now you have these plays where it's just like you have stuff going to the outside, you have stuff going to the inside. And once again, credit to the O-line because, I mean, somebody that I think we all just collectively said, forget you, was Ryan Kelly, who was graded as the best offensive lineman last week, and then Quentin Nelson was graded as the best offensive lineman this week. Who wasn't great as best offensive lineman? Braden Smith, but we're not going to talk about that right now. So you know what? We're just going to just skip past that completely. All right. So now that we've talked about the run game, JT has 6 days until he comes off the PUP list, right?
Yep.
Now you already know how this team is going to go, but mind you, he didn't practice with this team at all. He didn't practice with this offense, didn't really practice with AR. But like I said, he's coming off the PUP list next week. And then he'll be potentially playing in the matchup versus the Titans in week 5. So and I want to just kind of know exactly where you guys are at in terms of how do you think JT is going to potentially fit into this offense? Because mind you, this offense is already clicking. There's already a lot of chemistry with everybody. But now you are, of course, inserting somebody who's a baller, who can be a baller, but you're inserting a baller into a system where you kind of already know everybody. So how does this go moving forward? And anybody can go ahead and start us off on this one.
I feel like it opens up the playbook a lot more. I think you'll start to see if you've noticed the first two, when AR was playing the first 2 weeks, he's not throwing a lot deep down the field. He's not really throwing a lot at all, except for that second game. He threw like 40 times at the end of the first game. I think you kind of open it up a little. And I think one thing we haven't seen a lot of, we've seen options, but we haven't seen Anthony Richardson keep a lot of his options. And I think with the addition of JT, you're adding that wrinkle to the offense almost, because now you have an option of like, hey, pick and choose your poison, right? And I think we might see that a little bit more with Zach Moss, because I think there's a sense of trust that has grown after this game. Yeah. I'd be very interested to see if you see like two running back sets in the shotgun with Anthony Richardson and like a triple option type thing. I think that could add a totally new wrinkle to the whole thing. I mean, I think it provides a level of excitement. And I think maybe JT is finally starting to see, this is maybe what they're looking for. Let's get back together. Let's see how this goes. And I think he just comes back and he starts to just play. Like I think he sees what the rest of the team sees.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, this our offensive line has obviously improved from last year. Whatever was wrong last year is different this year. So having him back, an all-pro running back, like Zach Moss is putting up great numbers, but JT is still the better running back. So it's just going to be like we'll still have Moss, we'll add JT, like Harish said. Sorry, it's going to be open up the playbook more, like he said. I think it'll be great. Like it may take a little bit, but I think he'll be fine.
What about you, Josue?
Yeah, I'm with the guys, man. I mean, it makes the offense make the playbook a lot easier for the offense. I mean, I know we mentioned about the offensive line, but we gotta give the guys the credit. I mean, the both quarterbacks are getting rid of the ball pretty quick. They're not sitting in the pocket like Matt and Carson did and just hold on for 4 seconds and then get sacked. These guys are getting rid of the ball pretty quick to their options, whether it be Josh Downs, Isaiah, Michael Pittman, or Pierce, or even the tight ends. But adding JT back give us that, I don't know where we at in far as offense right now. We're ranked in offense, but it gives us that dog mentality. Our team play like dogs even on defense. Our offense just got to catch up. Adding him back, we know what he does. He's going to be doing JT things. He's a threat to take it to the house at any time, whether it's in the passing game or in the run game, and it just only helps out AR in his development. We said that all the time, that having JT helps his development. So having him back, you get to see those shots, with Pierce and Pittman and Josh Downs, those deep balls. So I mean, it adds a lot to our offense, and we can't wait to see it in week 5.
Yeah, I think so. And I think we kind of touched on a little bit, but this offense with Steichen is very different from what we've seen before. And it's different in a way where I'm going to say it's much more involved. Like it's not going to be, just like the 1-2-dimensional what we've seen, in previous years under Reich. It's going to be, JT is going to be able to move around a little bit more. JT is going to be able to kind of chip block and then potentially go out on those short routes and then just do what JT does when he gets into the open field. One thing that Shane Steichen has been very, very, very masterful with is making sure that he draws up a game plan that absolutely goes against everything that a defense wants to do. So, I mean, the Baltimore, they wanted to blitz us a lot, which they did. And Kyle Hamilton, he did really well with blitzing off the edge. But then once they caught on to it, it's a Zach Moss, touchdown or Zach Moss receiving touchdown. It turns into, a big catch from Michael Pittman, who just comes down with a phenomenal catch while getting his helmet ripped off, which Baltimore fans don't want to talk about that. But you know what? It happened. So you know what? I don't care. But I mean, it's basically Steichen has been drawing up a lot of great offenses to make sure that they're playing more complementary to how this offense wants to do. And he has a game plan that, I'm going to say hasn't necessarily gone wrong yet, but this is also a new offense that everybody's still getting used to. And the fact that it's being executed as well as it has in week 3, that means that down the line, we're probably going to be looking at there being more opportunity. So that's going to give us a big thing. And then Sean Noonan says, are we thinking AR is going to clear concussion protocol and play this week?
He should. But, we got tomorrow? We got to practice, Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Thursday.
Yeah, so honestly, I think
so.
I think he was already good last week. I think he could have played last week, but I think part of that is kind of like preservation. Because, you know that the game is going to be bad. It's going to be slippery, and I think you're throwing him out into a hurricane if you throw him out into that type of game when you know for a fact that he's going to
Ravens are
tell you
aggressive.
he's good. Yeah,
Yeah, Ravens are aggressive team
yeah,
on
and I
defense.
mean, like I said, it's just like you know what you have with Gardner Minshew, and like I said, they played a hell of a game with being able to execute the run. I think Zach Moss went for 122 yards on the ground.
Yeah,
So for him to be able to do what he did in that weather, it's just like that's exactly why he played him and just let AR just kind of sit down for this week. And then he said, "We will know based on him practicing this week if we don't see him in practice." Okay, so he's just responding. They said, y'all don't need JT. That would hurt my fantasy team. Keep riding Moss for JT. That's the right thing to do. No, you know what? JT's going to come back this week. He's going to play angry. And then guess what? He's going to come back and play the Titans, and he's going to get 132 yards.
I do want to add too is that Shane Steichen, like I know Harish, I think you guys have mentioned it as well. He's very aggressive on fourth down, and he's causing these teams to use their timeouts. He just keep doing that shit. Keep faking like he's going for it on fourth down, and they'll call a timeout, and then he'll punt the ball or he'll go for it anyway. I'm liking it. Even if we don't get it, I still like it because the guy's showing a wrinkle that we didn't see. We saw Frank Wright do what the analysts say. He's not doing that shit. He's doing it like, okay, I'm playing mind games with you.
Yeah,
I'm making call a timeout, and then I'm gonna go for it, whether I convert it or not, because he trusts his defense, which his defense did stop him on the other end.
Yeah. And I mean, I think the other thing that's kind of working for Shane Steichen right now is that he's just very even keel in the things that he's doing. Like he has the best poker face that I've ever seen from a head coach because you'll never know what he's thinking. You're just going to see how these teams go out there. You're going to see a field goal formation, and then you're going to see the whole entire special teams just go off the field, and then you're going to see them come back on for offense. And now you're just completely thrown off and just trying to figure out why the heck did he just do that? And you have to use a timeout. And he's making people use timeouts in situations where you need those timeouts because of the fact that you're going to have to adjust. And if you don't adjust, you're going to get beat. Like you're going to get whooped on.
Right.
And I mean, like I said, he played that to perfection. Yep. So, I mean, I'm very, very happy with the outcome in that one. Now, we have a new segment. And we're not going to go ahead and do this like every week. But I feel like this is something that we need to kind of, have a discussion about, right? This is us holding accountable because, we're men. We need to hold each other accountable as men. So this segment is called I Have to Apologize To. Now, this is where you pick one, maybe two players that you have to apologize to that you said less than favorable things about to begin the season. But now, after they've played a few games, you kind of say, you know what? I was wrong. Okay. So you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and kick us off, right? And I will say I have to say I apologize to EJ Speed because during the draft process I said, why didn't they just draft another linebacker? EJ Speed has been primarily in special teams. I don't know about that. And contrary to what I said, he's been balling. He's had some sacks, he's had some tackles, he's also had some turnovers. So yeah, to him I apologize, and I also apologize to Zach Moss.
He also had a pass interference.
Okay,
Jesus,
so
dude.
I don't apologize as much. Okay, fantastic. Thank you for that, Josh.
Thanks for saving the game. Gosh.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Thanks for
according to Ravens fans.
Thank you for being subtle enough to save the game, EJ.
Yeah,
that's what Josh would say.
And then also I have to say I apologize to Zach Moss. I said even when he came over from Buffalo last year, I was just like, if he wasn't successful in Buffalo, why are we expecting him to be good here? And coming off of having 88 yards against the Texans and then 122 yards against Baltimore, needless to say, I was wrong. So I apologize to EJ Speed and Zach Moss. You know what? We're just gonna do a quick round robin. Josh, who do you apologize to?
I am going to apologize to Quiddy Pay because I feel like he has been underperforming. I know he's been injured, but like I said, I think he had a sack in every game so far this year. Guy been balling. He's playing like he's in a contract year because the guy has just been balling every game. He's getting to that quarterback. Whether he get a sack, he's getting that pressure, getting those hits. And I was almost counting him out. So he's doing well. And Dio, same way. I'm gonna keep it on the edge rushers. Dio as well. I mean, he don't have the sack numbers, but when he's in there, he's making an impact as well. Besides that one game, he kept getting those offsides. But I still give him credit for.
Yeah, we can move past that.
Yeah.
We'll make mistakes. Yeah.
Okay.
But I want to apologize those two guys.
All right. What about you, Austin?
I'm gonna apologize to Ryan Kelly.
Good one.
Okay.
I mean, we all wanted him traded. We all wanted
Not
to move
me.
on.
Not me.
I did. I wanted him out.
I did too.
Yeah.
I did too.
We saw him last year and he struggled. He didn't have a good year last year, and he these first 2 games he was out last game, but the first 2 games he played great, like he did before. He had that bad year, and I just hope he continues and hope the whole offensive line continues to play well.
Okay. What about you, Harish?
I want to apologize to.
This is hard. This is hard for Harish.
I'd like to apologize to Kenny Moore.
Oh.
Okay, that's good.
Hey.
That's
Okay.
good.
For what reason?
Listen.
For what reason?
I called Kenny Moore Pro Bowl Moore because all he did was celebrate Pro Bowls for 18 weeks. And then
Oh, wow.
He's actually called out for 3 weeks. So I'd like to apologize to Kenny Moore. He made a couple of big plays on Sunday that we didn't get a chance to talk about. He had a ball that was almost picked off. I think he read a read and he almost picked it off on Bateman, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think so because he was right there, and I think he just missed it. But
Jumped
once
around,
again,
yeah.
weather permitting. Yep. So okay, Kenny Moore. And then who else?
No, that's it. That's all I got.
No.
It's not gonna happen.
This
That's
is
all I got.
this is accountability. This is accountability. This is accountability.
I'm being accountable.
You know what, Harish? I'm sick of this.
Harish got a bunch of them.
Is Michael Pittman a wide receiver 1?
No, he's not.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. You said last year.
Still not. Now he's taking a step because remember, like I said at the beginning of the season, Michael Pittman had a lot of moments where he could have done something spectacular to help change the course of a game. He had his first moment this season, and he didn't. So he's on the way. He's the only receiver to have 8 catches per game. Listen. Anybody can do anything once. Can you do it more than once? That's what I want to see. I just want to see.
He's done it more than once.
Yeah,
what do you mean? And then he failed it like 4 times last year. We're just gonna just forget that that's not
in the worst offense we've ever had.
It doesn't matter. Bro, I've seen Andre Johnson in worse offenses than what Michael Pittman had to go through.
Don't do that. Don't do that. The year that Curtis Painter was under center, our offense was better than what it was last season.
Our offense is pretty pathetic, but at the same token,
exactly.
But there's multiple issues. Well, okay, so here's the thing. Like I said, Michael Pittman Jr. is not a number 1. He's making the right strides. I'm not going to apologize to him yet until I can see it more consistently. He will have more opportunities.
Give him time.
Yeah. He will have more opportunities this year to make a play when it matters, and I want to see if he can do it consistently.
Well, okay, we'll revisit this later on.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, I apologize to Kenny Moore. Don't allow these guys to peer pressure you to making this segment to force you to say something you don't want to say.
This wasn't specifically for you, but when I got to you, the way that your facial expression let me know everything that I needed to know regarding how you were going to respond.
I can tell you,
the response you wanted.
I can tell you what the stuff that I added to the chat, I made it a point to post in that chat.
That's fine. I didn't say anything in any chat, so it doesn't matter. So, I mean, I do owe Kenny Moore an apology because
I think because we were just kind of over him last season, and then now he's just like now it's like, okay, wow, so you you're really coming up. So okay, yeah. So
I got a
that's
question.
fine.
I got a question for you guys though.
Uh-oh.
You got all three of you guys. Not nothing trolling, nothing stupid. But what is wrong with Braden Smith?
He got
Who knows, bro?
he got sunk in the money.
My God.
Who knows? Who knows?
Like what at this point? Look, I still don't think he's at his natural position. I
kept saying right guard.
This is still on. I think this is on Chris Ballard. Here's the thing: Braden Smith is a right guard. He was drafted to play right guard. He only dipped out to tackle because we had Mark Lewinsky. Mark Lewinsky leaves, and now we have French fries over here, and whoever the hell we had playing right guard. And you shifted. You basically overpaid Braden Smith. You paid him like a tackle when he's a guard. Just move Braden Smith inside and show him the right tackle. It's very simple.
I think honestly that also is going to depend on what they're seeing when it comes to not just Fries but also Blake Freeland too, because I think Blake Freeland, if he comes along and that right guard position, I think the right guard position has been played well enough through the first 3 games. Yeah. So there's no cause for concern right this moment. But once we have that one game where an opponent decides to focus their attention on that right guard spot, if they see that it's bad enough, I can see that they're going to end up potentially, moving him inside because, we're going to be going up against Aaron Donald, who can single-handedly disrupt a whole entire O-line by his damn self. So, I mean, that's going to be a little bit crazy, but
I'm very interested to see how that D-line attacks our offensive line.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But so one thing, and talk about crazy. So power rankings. We generally, like, it's early in the season. We generally don't talk about power rankings, but if we want to talk about how ludicrous power rankings are, 3 separate outlets: NFL.com, Pro Football Talk, CBS Sports, has the Colts ranked 14th, 20th, and 28th. So let me just be as honest as I possibly can be. Well, actually, just ask a question first. Which one of those would you say is probably the most realistic out of the 3 of those rankings?
I'd probably say 20.
The one with the 20, the 20.
I'd say 20.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on where were we before that? 28.
So that one actually had us go up 8 spots. So we went from 28 to 20 after that game. And then they had another one where I think the one where we moved to 14, I think we were at 24, and then we moved up 10 spots.
Oh, wow.
And then the one where we were on 28, we were at 30, and then we moved up 2 spots.
What is I didn't get a chance to read it because I hate power rankings. But what is 20? What is the justification for 28?
The justification for 28 is that we didn't play a fully healthy Baltimore team. So if we had a more dominant win against them, then that would have been the case. But the thing is, this is also a publication that had the Texans drastically going up to 23rd, or they were at 23 after beating the Jaguars.
But also we were injured.
We didn't have our franchise starting quarterback. But hey, don't let me be the guy that brings logic into the discussion.
So then, with that being said, how do we truly feel about power rankings, especially this early?
Don't care.
Yeah, they don't matter right now.
Yeah.
I only do it because of the fans. I mean, they're our opponents or division rivals. That's the only way I do it. I don't really care, but I do it to piss them off.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, we could talk about how Baltimore didn't play a full squad. We have yet to play a single game for like the 900th year in a row where our starters have played. Like, it's been a very long time since our starters have played a game together within the first quarter of the year. Someone is always hurt. Someone's out. Someone's holding out. Someone's got up. Someone's got this. Someone's, fell down on the scooter overnight. Like, we've had a bunch of just weird shit.
Yeah.
I want to see what this team looks like when the defense is fully healthy, right? And that secondary is young, but it's going to continue to grow. I want to see what this team looks like when AR is back, when JT is back, and then when Ryan
Jelani Wood.
Yep, Jelani. And when Jelani's supposed to come off too, isn't he?
Jelani's coming off the same day as JT is, so they're both coming off on Monday.
Okay. So I want to see what the real offense is supposed to look like, and then we'll see what we've got.
Okay. So I have and I think we've talked about this before, but I have a very, very, I'm going to say just regular opinion about it. Honestly, I'm completely fine if we're rated at 28. Because the great thing about 28 is people really don't give a damn about 28. People see 28 and they say, "Oh, well, you know what? They're trash. We don't have to worry about them. Just who's playing. We'll look at the report. We'll see what they did last game." Okay, fine. I'm more comfortable at 28 than I am at 14. And the biggest reason why is just because of the fact that we had all the hype and the buzz when the year that Carson Wentz was here, right? So, we had hard knocks. We had all those grind out wins. 90 plus percent to go into playoffs was what we were guaranteed. We missed the last 2 games and we become the team that utterly collapses. And ever since then, it's been the team that continues to utterly collapse. The great thing that I like about this is the fact that we're not getting recognition, but we're successful. So the thing is, it's like I said, it's easy to overlook success when it isn't flashy. Like anybody that's going to play the Miami Dolphins from here on out is going to be scrambling to try to figure out what's going on. But you have plenty of tape to show that offensively, they're going to be doing a whole bunch of craziness. And this is what to look for in these situations.
Yep.
I think with this team, they're not necessarily going to be looking for that because it's a team that isn't flashy, but they're going to drop the hammer.
Right.
And I think to me personally, that's just the biggest thing that we have to focus on. Is just continue to be that team that has the guys who are grinding with the underdog mentality. Juju Brent's coming in his first game and forcing a fumble on a peanut punch. Like that in and of itself is just like that's energy. Yep. Zaire Franklin, Leonard going in there. Like it's crazy because I think Leonard, with him being the way that he is, he's the person I think who's been the most quiet on defense, not from production perspective, but in terms of the voice, because everybody else is just really just coming out there and just like they're getting hyped, like the energy's there. And the energy's there with this team. So for me, I don't care if we're not favored in any game this season. But I know for a fact that with this offense, they're going to come prepared. With the defense, they're going to come prepared. And they're just going to continue to just go and just like do exactly what they need to do in terms of making sure that they go every Sunday and deliver.
Right. And I think that's what it comes down to, right? It's the preparedness of this team that gives me the most confidence. Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what? This team under Steichen has probably looked the most confident that it has been in years. Right. I think this team is coming in with the same type of confidence and energy that you saw in some of those years with Peyton. It's not to say that it's just like it's the exact same situation and and what's his face and AR is going to be Peyton Manning and this, that, and the other. But the thing is, it's that same type of energy, it's that same type of fire, it's that same type of yes, this is exactly who I want to go out there with, because you can tell that everybody's going out there fired up and getting hyped. So I'm very, very, very happy with the way that this team is coming along right now. But we're actually gonna go ahead and we're just getting prepared to get up out of here. However, playing the Rams this week. Now, mind you, this isn't the same Rams team. However, we know that the Rams have, I'm going to say, went toe-to-toe with many teams that they just weren't projected to really go toe-to-toe with. I mean, this is the Rams team that's now 1-2. And their first 2 games were against division opponents, and then they just lost last night against the Bengals. So what are we seeing in terms of what we need to do in this game, and then what do we see for the outcome? And so I'll start with you, Austin.
So our offensive line needs to make sure they try to slow down Aaron Donald. Don't let him just bust through the line and get to your quarterback. Defense just needs to contain Tutu and Puka, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Puka Nakua.
Yeah. I don't think the Rams look that great. And I think we'll win 34-17.
Okay. 34-7. I like it. All right. What you got for me, Harish?
Yeah, I'd agree with Austin. Like, I'm not sold on this Rams team. What are they 3-0, right?
No, 1 and 2.
1 and 2. Okay, yeah, they suck. So yeah, I think I still think there's a lot of holes on their team. I actually think the Rams would be better if Matt Stat or if Bennett. What's that Bennett guy's name? It's Stetson Bennett. That's it's Josh Senior's
Stetson Bennett. Yep.
Yeah.
That's Stetson Bennett.
Favorite quarterback. Yeah. From his hometown, Georgia. So I actually think the Rams would be better if Stetson Bennett played. Cooper Kupp's is not back yet. I think he's out 1 more week. He's also eligible to come back from the pup next week. Our defense is just too good. They're not going to be. They're really. I think they're limited on the pass game, and unless they can run the ball, which they're not going to be able to. I think our defense only averages 2.6 yards per carry on the ground.
Yeah.
And that's after Lamar Jackson's 100-yard game. So I think we win this pretty comfortably. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if this game is something like 28-10 or 28-7, something like that.
Okay. All right. What about you, Josh?
Yeah, I agree with the fellas, man. I'm not really as confident as against the Rams. I mean, I don't think they're a good team. I mean, the defense kind of still the same. You got Aaron Donald. You got to watch out for him every game. I don't care who you play against. You got to watch him all the time. And on offense, I mean, I don't know who on the offense. I know what Van Jefferson. I think
it's Van Jefferson. They have Puka Nakua.
Cool. Whatever that is. Yeah.
Hey, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. That's nasty. That's nasty.
Well, I don't know who he is, and I think our cornerbacks can cover those 2 guys. And they don't have a running back. They traded one, and the other guy they cut. I think Darrell Henderson. They cut him, a while back, and they just traded Campbell Akers. So they're not going to be able to establish a run. And we have a great run defense. I think, like I said before, going into the game against Ravens, we allowed 7-8 yards a game. So, I mean, I think we can hold these guys under 7-8 a game in this game. And I mean, I got us winning 2017.
2017? Okay.
Yeah, 2017.
Well, 2017.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So, little known fact, and this is something that I'll go ahead and just make you guys privy to. The Cincinnati Bengals defense got 6 sacks on Matt Stafford last game. So, I mean, and I don't know exactly where they rank from a stats perspective, but I mean, I can definitely see this team absolutely, just going there and wreck. Oh, by the way, we are 4th in sacks with 12 on the season thus far. Actually, we're tied for 2nd. Pittsburgh has 13, and they just played the Raiders. So do with that information what you will. So yes. So I mean, honestly, I'm not saying that this is a trap game, because I'm not saying it like we're just this almighty team that's like, oh yeah, fantastic. However, I will say that if this team executes the way that they're supposed to and does what they need to, I think honestly it's just like we could walk away from this game getting I'm going to say, if not the same amount of sacks, possibly even more. So I'm going to say it's just like I'm going to make a bold prediction and say I'm going to say we could have 8 sacks by the end of this game.
Yeah, it's definitely bold.
I'm gonna say 8 sacks, and I'm gonna say that because of the fact that
I mean he's still quarterback, so yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, Matt Stafford, he's a little bit older now. I think the arm might not be delivering the way that it was previously. So I'm gonna say I believe that this one could be a game that if they do everything that they need to do, everybody kind of delivers, plays their spots, then I could honestly see this being a 28-7 win for us.
Okay.
So yeah. So that's exactly where we are as far as that goes. So with that being said, we're out of here. We are going to make sure that we are going to be live. Like I said, for this game, I think we can go ahead and just maybe possibly do a space during the game on Twitter. We don't call it X, okay, because whatever. So we potentially do a space for this, or we can actually do the space the night before, because the space the night before is actually something that we can. I think that would be pretty cool. I think you guys up to do a space this weekend? Do it evening time.
Yeah, man.
Ready?
I actually have an anniversary dinner to go to this weekend.
Yeah,
Let's do that after the game Sunday then.
Yeah, I mean I'm free Sunday. Oh wait, no. Our dinner is Friday night because we.
Oh, okay, cool.
We watch football on the weekends in this household because and Texas plays at 2:30. So yeah, I'm down.
Fair.
We can do space like late in the evening. I'm down.
Okay. What do you think, Austin? What you got? What you got going on?
I should be able to. I'll be in Indianapolis. So.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we should get on this then and record.
Right.
We could absolutely. But yeah, man. So other than that, guys, like I said, it's been a good one. Like I said, I think we covered pretty much everything we said that we were going to. So with that being said, Austin, tell the people where they can find you on social media.
Yeah, you can find me on X at Cookie Austin 2.
Oh, you and Josh, I swear.
I've been good.
How about you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at the Uncle Gandhi with the GHANDI, and then I'm on the Longhorn Fan Battle podcast on Thursday nights. Come check out myself and my buddy Tim Wayne talk about the number 3 team in the nation, which Josh.
Prize.
Yeah.
Prize. Y'all some prize.
If we're frauds, then Alabama needs to get kicked out.
Go Oklahoma. Beat Texas. Come on, go Oklahoma.
We were 1 week. The NFL was 1 week off from making Texas OU the same weekend as Titans Colts. The next week could have been an unreal weekend because could have gone 2-0 against division rivals. But the NFL didn't want that to happen. They wanted to give one of my rivals a break because so that's cool. But yeah, Thursday nights, Texas Longhorn Fan Battle podcast, and then the Uncle Gandhi on Twitter.
All right, Josh, what about you?
You can find me on Mondays. You can find me on the Fan Battle Network. Mondays on the LSU South Fan Battle. Saturdays, fantasy football. Of course, on here. Tuesdays at 9:30 Eastern time. And you can find me on the network writing a bunch of articles. I got more coming. Just look out.
Always. He got one right after this one, so yeah. And then you can find me at CJ Colts Fan on Twitter, and Chris Jackson pretty much everywhere else. Oh, excuse me, sorry about that. But yeah, so with that being said, guys, it's been great. Glad you've been sticking with us. Like I said, the season's going great, and it's only going to be greater. So other than that, have a great day, and as always, Sam loves Jalen Ramsey.
Peace.